Greetings, curious minds. On this channel, we journey beyond the surface, seeking insight and understanding. Today, as always, we have many layers to explore. So, let's begin. In the years immediately following World War II, America brimmed with a hopeful optimism. The factories that once churned out tanks and planes now produced cars and consumer goods. Life was returning to normal, and the promise of a prosperous future seemed within reach. Yet even in times of peace, the echoes of unseen dangers could resonate with devastating force. On one spring morning, that fragile optimism was smashed by an explosion of unimaginable power. A peacetime catastrophe that would forever scar a Texas city and redefine the landscape of industrial safety. This is the story of the Texas City disaster, an event that occurred in the relatively young year of 1947. Our destination is Texas City, Texas, a vibrant, rapidly growing port town on the Gulf Coast. In the mid-20th century, Texas City was a proud and bustling nexus of industry. Its deepwater port was a gateway for international trade, and its vast complex of oil refineries, chemical plants, and storage facilities made it a vital economic engine for the region. Thousands of residents lived and worked in the shadow of towering industrial structures, a testament to human ingenuity and ambition. On April 16, 1947, the air was thick with the scent of chemicals and salt, a typical morning in the port. Moored at Pier O was the SS Grandcamp, a French-registered Liberty ship. Her holds were filled with a seemingly innocuous cargo, over 2,300 tons of ammonium nitrate. This chemical, a powerful fertilizer, was on its way to war-torn Europe to help rebuild agricultural lands and feed a hungry populace. Few knew, however, the treacherous potential lurking within those seemingly stable white crystals. Ammonium nitrate, AN, while critical for agriculture, is also a potent oxidizing agent. Under specific conditions, intense heat and pressure, it can undergo a violent decomposition, transforming from a benign granular material into a catastrophic explosive. It was a danger not fully understood by many at the time, particularly by the ship's crew and port workers who handled it daily. Around 8 a.m. that Wednesday morning, a small fire was discovered in the number 4 cargo hold of the Grandcamp. The cause was believed to be a carelessly discarded cigarette, though this was never definitively proven. The crew, following what they believed were standard procedures, made a fateful decision. Rather than fighting the fire with water, which they feared would damage the cargo, they sealed the hatch and attempted to smother the flames with steam. This was a critical error. The steam, while depriving the fire of oxygen, also acted to intensify the heat and pressure within the sealed hold, creating the ideal conditions for the ammonium nitrate to ignite. As the hours ticked by, the situation grew increasingly dire. The sealed hold became a pressure cooker. At first, an orange plume of smoke began to curl lazily from the ship's vents, a telltale sign of burning ammonium nitrate, though again, a detail largely unrecognized by those observing. Word of the fire spread quickly through the town. Spectators, drawn by the unusual sight and the rising column of smoke, began to gather at the piers and on nearby rooftops, treating the escalating crisis as a curious spectacle. Firefighters arrived, bravely attempting to douse the flames, unaware of the imminent danger. The air was thick with anticipation, but not yet with terror. Then, at 9:12 a.m., The world ripped apart. The SS Grandcamp exploded with a cataclysmic force. The ship was instantly disintegrated. Pieces of metal weighing tons were flung miles away, some found impaled in the ground. The estimated yield of this devastating blast was roughly 2.3 kilotons of TNT equivalent, a colossal conventional explosion, creating a mushroom cloud that reached 2,000 feet into the sky. The impact was absolute. A 15-foot tidal wave swept over the harbor, washing away docks and small boats. Nearby ships were capsized or thrown onto land. 2 planes flying overhead were knocked out of the sky. The force of the explosion shattered windows as far as 25 miles away and was felt as far as Louisiana. Every building within a mile of the blast was either destroyed or severely damaged. The Monsanto Chemical Company plant, directly across from the pier, was utterly obliterated, its towering structures collapsing into a twisted, burning ruin. The casualties were staggering. The official death toll reached 581 souls, though many more were likely never found, vaporized in the inferno or swept out to sea. Among the dead were all but one member of the Texas City Fire Department who had rushed to the scene. Over 5,000 people were injured, many critically, suffering from severe burns, lacerations from flying glass, and traumatic injuries from the shockwave. Thousands were left homeless. Children who had been in school just blocks away were killed or orphaned. The vibrant industrial hub was transformed into a moonscape of twisted metal, shattered glass, and smoldering wreckage. Yet, as if the horror wasn't complete, another chapter of the disaster was still to unfold. Near the remnants of the Grandcamp lay the SS Highflyer, another vessel, also loaded with over 960 tons of ammonium nitrate, along with sulfur. Efforts to tow her away from the burning port failed. For 16 agonizing hours, the Highflyer smoldered, a ticking time bomb in the midst of the chaos. At 1:10 a.m. on April 17th, the Highflyer 2 exploded, adding another layer of destruction to the already devastated landscape. This second blast caused further damage to the remaining infrastructure and hampered ongoing rescue efforts, adding to the grim toll of casualties and the psychological trauma gripping the community. The immediate aftermath was a scene of unparalleled devastation. Rescuers poured into Texas City from across the state and beyond. Hospitals were overwhelmed, makeshift morgues were set up, and volunteers worked tirelessly to find the missing and tend to the injured. The scale of the human suffering was almost incomprehensible. Whole families were wiped out, entire neighborhoods reduced to rubble. The overall impact of the Texas City disaster resonated far beyond the immediate catastrophe. It led to a landmark legal battle, prompting more than 8,000 claimants to sue the U.S. government for negligence. Though the government initially won, the case eventually reached the Supreme Court, ultimately leading to the passage of the Federal Tort Claims Act. This critical legislation allowed citizens to sue the government for negligence, fundamentally altering the relationship between the state and its people. Today, Texas City has rebuilt. Its port remains a vital artery of commerce and industry, a testament to the resilience of its people. But the scars of that terrible day endure. The Texas City disaster stands as a solemn reminder of the delicate balance between industrial progress and human safety, a testament to the profound costs of human error and a powerful call for vigilance in safeguarding lives against the hidden dangers that can erupt from even the most ordinary of materials. It is a story of loss, of heroism, and ultimately of a profound and enduring lesson etched into the very fabric of American history.